What?
Yes, you did.
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not. Ma'am.
Yes, you did.
Listen. I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with you. I will repeat.
Dating is a struggle. It's not an easy process to find your one.
Do you believe it now, Trinity?
Or just somebody that you want to spend some time around.
You can do it all night long.
People are going to ghost you. People are going to use pictures that are 20 or 30 years old. Or pictures that belong to somebody else entirely.
What's this?
Sometimes people are a lot shorter than they claimed to be. Sometimes they have bad breath or missing teeth or make a weird noise when they eat across the table.
Are you okay?
The mother of all bad dates belongs to a man from Michigan named Richard Jordan, because I can probably guarantee that as bad as any of your dates have been, none of them ended up in a $10,000 lawsuit.
He should have swiped left.
QaShontae Short filed a $10,000 lawsuit against Richard Jordan for emotional distress
Emotional damage.
from a bad date that happened in 2020.
This is 2020.
She alleges that Mr. Jordan didn't show up and then later left her on her mom's birthday. Evidently, the emotional distress comes from the fact that her mom just recently passed away. Miss Short was like, you know what? I think I'm going to take $10,000 from you.
Sorry about that. If I could just get that wallet.
So Miss Short filed her lawsuit in district court. The hearing was an absolute shit show.
That's not something that's really justiciable in district court.
I'm sorry. I can't hear you.
I said that's not something that's justiciable.
It started off with the judge, Herman Marable Jr., asking Jordan if he was representing himself, to which he replied, yeah, I guess. I thought the whole thing was just like going to be thrown out. I thought this was bullshit. You know what I mean?
To be honest with you, sir, I thought this was just going to be thrown out. We had a date, one date, and nothing else after that. And now I'm being sued for $10,000.
He was like, we only went on one date. Now, I don't understand all of the little intricacies. She claims that he stood her up and then like later left. So I'm guessing that they arranged a date at one point and he didn't show up for that, and then they arranged another date.
He allegedly didn't show up for a date with QaShontae Short back in 2020 in Flint.
So the judge replied to Jordan, hey, look, you haven't filed the appropriate motion.
If you think it should be dismissed, you need to file the appropriate motion.
Then he made the mistake of turning his attention to Miss Short, who proceeded to go on a rant about how Mr. Jordan had allegedly perjured himself.
If he responds and his response is a lie, it's perjury, then my documents will prove that he lied in his response.
No. First of all, do you understand what perjury is?
Yes, I understand perjury is a lie.
You don't understand. It's a false statement made under oath.
That stated a lie.
And the judge was like, WTF? What are you talking about? Do you even know what perjury means? That it has to happen when you're under oath.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
The Zoom hearing devolved in a screaming match between the judge and Miss Short.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
After watching the entire hearing, I think Jordan came out with the long end of the stick, not having pursued a relationship with her any further because she is batshit crazy. So the judge continued to try to explain to her where he was coming from, that this was filed in the wrong court, it needed to be in circuit court, and that what she was claiming was perjury was not perjury.
I said that. No, I didn't.
Yes,
said
you did.
that.
You stated
I said that circuit.
You stated that the criminal. You stated that.
Are we done here?
Are we done here?
She just talked over him the entire time to the point where the clerk had to mute her, and she didn't even notice.
Unmuted.
She's been talking the entire time.
She didn't even look at her phone. She didn't look at the screen. She took the hearing. She called into this Zoom call from the freaking airport. I don't know if she worked there or if she was like flying out or flying in or whatever, but she didn't even like, you know, clear her schedule for the 15 minutes or whatever it is that she needed to take this call. The least you can do if you're expecting the court to award you money from someone for emotional distress is be present and attentive. Just a smidge. At the end, the judge said, I can transfer this to circuit court for you, and we'll have to close this case out.
Venue is to be changed because intentional infliction of emotional distress is a circuit court matter outside the jurisdiction of district court. Plaintiff shall pay the filing fees in the receiving court.
So the question still remains, is Richard Jordan going to be on the hook for $10,000? Maybe. But if this hearing was any indication of what's to come in the future, he's probably going to be okay. It's just going to be a huge hassle. If this goes any further, I have to imagine that Richard Jordan needs to hire an attorney and countersue for his emotional distress for going through this insane process. The interesting thing too about this and then about Mrs. Short is that she is a very litigious person. I went to the court records. She's been involved in a load of other cases. People suing her suing other people. Like literally just with this one court, there's like 4 pages of court cases that she's involved in. Anything that I'm saying, take with a grain of salt because I am not a lawyer. All right, that's where I'm going to end today's video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Should this be our future? Should we be able to sue people for bad dates? As always, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Are we done here?
That I can recall, I've never been stood up for a date, but I did have one where the woman showed up and said that she likes to start fights in bars and also that she was having sex with her roommate who also was her ex-boyfriend. I kind of wish she hadn't showed up.